Hey, hi everyone. Welcome back. Hi, Swati. How are you?
Hi, Rishabh. I'm good.
Great. So, Swati, until now we have discussed the definition of growth marketing, the difference compared to digital marketing, and then we discussed the four pillars of growth. So, the mindset, the process, and the skill set.
Okay.
But the tool set, like I said, will be based on the skill set that you pick, right? So, for example, if you pick email marketing, then it's going to be a different tool set for you. If you pick paid search, is going to be a different tool set.
Right.
And since we are not deep diving into every specialist skill, we are going to skip the tool set part for now. But we will, over the course, discuss like different tools that we will use. And we'll actually go through those tools. So now we're going to move to actually each stage of this process, right? So the growth marketing process was research, ideate, execute, and measure. And today we will start with the research phase. So let's move to our lesson for the day, which is day 6, research for growth, right?
Okay.
So quick review of the process. If you remember, we have research, we have ideate, we have execute, and we have measure, right? And at each step, we have options to either go back to the previous step. For example, if the sprint is working, when we measure and the sprint seems to be working and moving to the direction of the metrics, we can continue execution. If we need a new idea, we can go back to ideation. And if all ideas fail, we go back to research. But it all starts with the research, right? So what do you think, Swati? As per you, what do you think we will be doing in the research phase? What, without knowing anything else?
I think basically researching the competitors and researching different methods of executing.
Right. So very close. Researching the competitors is definitely a big part of it. Researching different methods so that we can lead, things that will lead to ideas. But there's also one important part of it, which is researching the target audience.
Okay. Yeah, of course.
Right. So those are the three pillars of research. So you already told me two of them, and then one will be the researching the target audience. Right. I usually spend a lot of time researching the competitors because I'm typically coming from a place where I already understand the target audience. But if someone is just starting from scratch, then they will have to spend, for example, if it's a new startup, then they'll have to spend much more time researching the target audience first, and then only they can move to competitors. Now,
right.
There are different questions to ask when you do research. And I've sort of compiled the 10 key questions. And what I do is I ask these 10 key questions for every business that I work with. So whether I'm working with a business as a growth marketing consultant or as a growth lead or a fractional, CGO, there are different ways to call it. These will be the different questions that I will ask them. And in many cases, you don't have to ask some of these questions if you're already the entrepreneur of the business, you already know what your goals are, etc. But these will be the 10 things, and I'll just go through them one by one. Okay. So the first two, I think you already recognize, the North Star metric and the OMTM, right? These are the goals of the business. We also try to figure out the current strategy. So let's say, for example, since we work as an agency, if a client comes to us, they might already be doing something to achieve their goals, right? So this is like, what is your current strategy right now? How are you achieving your goals right now? And then obviously it may be working, may not be working. In most cases, it's not working as expected. That's the reason why they've hired us. In which case we can then understand, at least we'll know what's not working for them already, right? And then we have the target persona. Like I said, we research the persona. Who is this person? Where do they hang out? What are the online channels that they use? What are the social media apps that they use? What are the other platforms that they are active on? Those kinds of questions. And if you map it out, you'll see that all of these questions will eventually help us to generate ideas. Because if we know where the audience is, then we can make creative ideas to get that audience from that network to our network and so forth, right? Then we also need to understand what is the value proposition, right? Why would this audience buy from this business, right? So it's also like business research, but it's part of the target persona research, in my opinion, because you're just trying to understand what's the value to that persona, right? So those are like the top 5 high level questions. Then there is the bottom 5, where, excuse me, the current strategy is repeated, but essentially the channels, competitors, communities, and past data. With channels, what we do is we are looking at what channels are people already active on and what channels is this business already using. So let's say if you get a client, we'll take the e-commerce example. Let's say they're getting most of their customers from Google, Facebook, or Instagram, right? And maybe we find that their target audience is also very active on TikTok. So it could be a potential channel for us to experiment with. And that's how research would eventually feed into ideation, right?
Right.
So we look at past data, is there any campaigns that they've run in the past? And do we have some data from that we can use? Right. So that's all like the high level stuff. But now we'll get into researching with tools. And these are my top 10 tools that I use for research. And while I would love to cover all of them, what I'll do is I'll pick 2 or 3 of them and then just cover those. But a quick brief would be could be good for you to be able to understand how to use these tools, right? So let's look at SimilarWeb. Now, SimilarWeb is a tool that allows you to analyze your competition. And in this case, what I'll do is I'll take the example of Maplinks. So for those who are not aware, let me just open the websites. So we are a growth marketing agency for e-commerce brands, right? We also work with startups, but at the moment we are majorly focusing on e-commerce brands. Now, growth marketing agency for e-commerce brands could be full funnel marketing. Like we've discussed, growth marketing is full funnel marketing. We're going to pick a specific service that we provide, which is e-commerce marketing. And within e-commerce, we are going to discuss e-commerce email marketing, SMS, and email automation, which is a service that we provide, as you know. And I'm going to show you a website of a competitor. And this is a competitor's website, Floem. And this is also an email marketing agency. And you see that they are also doing email, probably also SMS, and then providing people with sort of increased revenue. And they also have their pricing plans here. So based on the number of campaigns, it starts at $2,500 a month and can go up to $7,000 a month, right? So we are sort of in a similar position, and hence this is a good competitor to research, right? So first thing what I'll show you is I'll show you how I use SimilarWeb. So what I do is I have the extension of SimilarWeb, right? And I just click on that extension. And then SimilarWeb gives me some important insights about my competitor. Okay. So it's giving me some idea of like how much traffic they are getting on a monthly basis. So on a monthly basis, they're getting good enough traffic. This is the bounce rate. So how many people of those people are bouncing off the website? So some information which I wouldn't have access to otherwise. And that also gives me some idea of the countries. So what do you think about this? Are these our competitors or not? Because 45% of their traffic comes from US.
Yeah, I mean, we do have clients who are based in the US, and that's our target.
Yeah. So our top 5 countries will very likely be very similar to theirs. Should be, if not. So if we are working on it, so in our case, we are just starting the email marketing approach. So hence, it's a good reference for students who are taking this course. If you're starting your own business or if you're working with a small startup, you can get an idea of where you want to be by looking at a competitor's details. And I've picked a competitor who's doing much better than us, right? So I'm saying it very honestly, they're doing much better than us, which is why this is a good place to start, right? Then we see that 49.86% of their traffic comes from search. So, and we don't do any SEO yet because we're just starting out with the service, like I said. So that's a good place for us to start. Now that we know that half of their traffic is coming from search, it could be a good place to explore both search ads as well as organic SEO to improve our traffic from that particular domain. So this is how good SimilarWeb is, because otherwise you could only see this data inside of your own Google Analytics, but you won't have access to the competitors' analytics, right? So, so we got some good ideas from this, but we can also click on the link there. So we'll actually go to the detailed analysis within SimilarWeb. We don't need to do it right now, but essentially this will give you more data essentially about what this website does, how they get their audiences, even some other competitors. So for example, Hustler Marketing, Kronos, if you look at these websites, yeah, it's also a good place to do research because they also do e-commerce marketing, right? E-commerce email marketing. So not just that we get insights, but we also now found a few other competitors to do research. And what we can do is we can then go to Hustler Marketing's similar web analysis and then see what they are, right? How are they getting their traffic, etc. Right.
Yeah,
so
this is good.
Yeah, and also it's not just limited to how they are getting traffic. It's also like some of the search terms that people are using to find their website, right? And then those are the terms that I can create content on. Then we have some more data about the referring websites. This is very interesting. One of their referring websites is upwork.com. And that's 50% share, and it has improved by 56% from December 2022 to Feb 2023. That means Upwork is probably a source from which they get clients. Right? So how I can use this is when I generate my growth ideas, I should make an idea of testing Upwork to get customers, right? So I have a very clear idea from just this research. So research leads to ideation. If you're doing research the right way, you will automatically have ideas. People are asking me, how do we come up with ideas? The answer is you have to follow the process. And in the process, you have research before ideas. So if you do proper research, your ideation would happen by itself.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, it's very interesting, especially the last part, because otherwise I would never have thought of using Upwork, for reaching out to potential clients.
Yeah,
But
just like,
I mean, it's
I found you on
almost 50%.
Yeah, I found you on Upwork, right? So, so now as Maplings, we could do Upwork to get more clients. So the interesting thing is, we would otherwise just think LinkedIn or cold email outreach, which is sort of the most popular one, just sending cold emails to potential clients. But on Upwork, if you think about it this way, people are already looking for a solution, right? You don't have to you don't have to sell them the problem. They know that they have a problem. Then you just have to tell them why your solution, why they should take the solution from you. Right?
Yeah. Great.
Yeah, that's just the tip of the iceberg though. What we can also do is let's go back to Miro and look at these other tools, right? So we have ChatGPT, which is sort of a new addition, and it is a one tool for everything, but which can do everything. But let's see SEMrush. Okay, now SEMrush and Ahref. I'm just gonna pick SEMrush. That's because we use SEMrush, but they are very similar tools and they do more or less similar things. But since we use SEMrush, we're just gonna go to SEMrush. So we have a project here for Mapplinks, but for people who don't have a project on SEMrush or anything, all you need to do is just go to domain overview and then put in your competitor's website. Okay. So I'm just going to put in the website and then I'm going to click search. Now this tells me much more than SimilarWeb on the search side of things. And the reason why I'm doing SEMrush is because I already know now that organic search is getting most of the traffic for my competitor. So now I want to dig deep into their SEO, right? So here's what it is, right? So there's worldwide, there's US, UK, Denmark. Now we know that most of our customers, we would like to attract customers, let's say from the US. So we're just going to click on the US. right? Now what we can do is we can see that, wow, that's all great. They have been improving their keywords, organic keyword rankings over time. They're doing really well. Now we can see what are the specific keywords that's contributing to the traffic on this website, right?
Sure.
So here's how we do that, right? So we just click on keywords and then positions, and then this is the volume, and this is the position. So if you go by positions first, you'll be able to see that these are the keywords they are ranking on the first result for. Okay. So evergreen email sequence is a keyword which is not very difficult to rank for. So you see that the KD, which is the keyword difficulty percentage, is just 15, and it says it's an easy keyword, right?
Yeah.
So we can also target this keyword, and all we need to do is we need to create content which is better than their content, right? If it's a harder keyword, then you have to create content which is better than their content, but also have other people linking back to you. Then there's a little bit more effort. But keywords which are very easy, you just have to make better content than your competitors, right? So their keyword difficulty is just 15, and it says you will need quality content focused on the keyword's intent, right? And the intent, so the first column is intent, is informational. So user just wants to find an answer to a specific question. And if Google has already ranked them on the first page for this result, then it's best to review what they have written about this keyword.
Yes.
So engage your customers with an evergreen email sequence, everything you need to know. So they have a proper table of contents. Just that there is too much distraction on this website. So I'm just going to close that. Then they have explained what is a sequence, what is an evergreen sequence, benefits. So honestly, we know all this. So it's not very hard to write this article. And it's not very hard to write an article which is 20% better than this. It doesn't have to be the best, but it just have to be 20% better than this. And then target this keyword, right? So but before we do that, we also need to look at the volume. So the volume is 30, which is like 30 people searching for this particular keyword in a month, right? So honestly, it's not a great keyword if you look at the volume, right? It's an okay. I mean, I have still, as you can see, I've added it to my list. So here you can just add your keywords to your list, but I would probably spend my energy on something which has slightly more traffic. So look at this one, for example. Email marketing agency pricing. That seems like a good keyword as well. It's not very difficult, and it has 200 people, 200 potential traffic. Email marketing agency for e-commerce, pretty good. They are ranking at the first result for this. And it's quite easy to rank for, and they are ranking for the homepage, right? So this is how you can actually, see what kind of content you want to create. And then now we have this idea, right? Now we have this idea to rank for these specific keywords. There's one that they have about active campaign versus Klaviyo.
Oh.
So they are ranking on the third result. It's quite an easy keyword. In fact, it's quite easy, but it has a decent volume, 110 people. It's okay. And someone who's considering this could be potentially e-commerce business owners, right? So just, I mean, this is outside of the scope of research, but typically my workflow to quickly create content which is slightly better than what they have done would be essentially to use ChatGPT, right?
Yeah.
And how I would do it is, but I want to add my own insights, and like they have added these screenshots about their clients, etc. I would also add these screenshots, because this is the difference between AI content and personalized content. Because when we add screenshots, when we add more insights, then our content will stand out of the average AI generated content out there. So what I would do is, let me just show you an example. I would open ChatGPT, and so this will be exciting, Swati. We are trying to basically beat them on this keyword, right? And we'll see the results over time. It takes some time, but let's start a new chat. Actually, I have a chat thread for this, so I'm going to continue that. I'm going to write an article about the differences between Active Campaign and Klaviyo for my agency website. Act as my content writer. Okay. Write as Maplinks. Maplinks is an e-commerce marketing agency. Give me an outline for the. So essentially, it's important to feed ChatGPT with information that about what you do and who you are, so that the content that comes out is a little bit more personalized, right? And
Right.
so this is like a decent outline. I haven't asked ChatGPT to write an article yet, but I'm just looking at the outline. So it's quite a good outline. However, you see that the active campaign and Klaviyo, that's not really the keyword that they're focusing on. They're focusing on Klaviyo versus active campaign. And when we go back to our analysis, we saw that active campaign versus Klaviyo or Klaviyo versus active campaign, that's the keyword for SEO. So I'm also going to tell ChatGPT the focus keyword for SEO will be active campaign versus Klaviyo. Include that in the outline, right? So here's the updated outline with the focus keyword active campaign versus Klaviyo. So this is one way of doing it. I think if you look at this, it's trying to incorporate this a little bit unnaturally. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to copy this again and then put this here, and they say SEO keyword, active campaign versus Klaviyo. Yeah, this time it's going to be slightly better. So you just have to make sure that, ChatGPT understands what you're doing. So brief overview of the article, why it's important to understand the differences, explanation of what this one seems a little bit irrelevant, introduction of the focus keyword. So remove, okay, conclusion, blah, blah, blah. Okay. Okay, remove the point about from the outline. Yeah, much better. Right, so let it generate the entire outline first. So pricing and plans, reporting and analytics, integrations and automation, segmentation, blah, blah, blah. Once it's done, then what I do is I typically just copy each point and then ask ChatGPT to write about that particular point. Right. So then ChatGPT is going to basically write the entire article for that point. The reason why I do this, and you see it's also including the keyword active campaign versus Klaviyo, means it's understood what we really want. Right.
Right. Yeah.
Then I'm going to also say, after I use this, then I'm going to say write point 2. So then it's going to write about point 2. And at the end, I'm going to copy all of this, put it on the article, and then add screenshots and examples from my own experience and my own clients, because I have both active campaign and Klaviyo, because that's going to make the difference between just AI content and personalized content. So this is how we can use ChatGPT then, based on the research. And once we publish this article, then we can actually track on SEMrush if we have started ranking over time for this keyword or not. Right. And our eventual goal will be to beat our competitors on this keyword.
Wow. Right. Yeah, I mean, that's great. It basically is saving up so much time. Otherwise, writing the blog would have taken up, I don't know, anything from a few hours to day. Yeah. And a good one. I mean, that's a great, great content that ChatGPT is providing.
Yeah. Also, it's relevant to our, ranking, because we know that our competitors are getting traffic for this particular keyword. Yes. So that's how you can use like some of these competitor research tools. One more thing that I wanted to add, let's take a different business example. We are creating this growth marketing course, right? And the more content we create about growth marketing, the more people will know about us. So one great tool for this is called Answer the Public. So I'm going to show you this tool as well. And if you look at this tool, all you need to do is you need to put in the keyword that you want to sort of dominate the market for, and then the country. So let's say we put United States, growth marketing, English is the language that we are targeting, and then just search. Let's accept this. So this will give us all kinds of keywords that we can focus on and all the content creation ideas as well, right? And this is sort of a visual graph, but we can download a CSV. But a lot of this, what is growth marketing manager? What is a growth marketeer? Is there, like there are different options here for us to then create content. So what I would typically do is someone who wants to build their authority in a specific space, start here, and then growth marketing examples. What is growth marketing as a service, growth marketing versus marketing, growth marketing versus brand marketing, growth marketing versus digital marketing. Take all of these and create one piece of content on each one of them. It'll be very hard for you not to build authority in that space if you actually do this, right? So this is one great way of doing research. Now you see, we're not doing competitor research in this case. In this case, we are doing audience research. This is what people are searching for. So Answer the Public gets data from Google search suggestions and other sources so that you know what people are actually searching for, and then you can create content on those topics, right? So if you cover everything here, you're basically going to show up when people are looking at growth marketing related keywords.
Yeah, I mean, and there's so much. There
Exactly.
are so many keywords. Yeah.
Marketing for SaaS, growth marketing free course is exactly this course that we are working on right now.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's some of the ways. I mean, there's a lot we can deep dive into when it comes to research, and research is really fun. But sometimes I even ask ChatGPT directly about research. So I am building a growth marketing course, right? So great. My audience is entrepreneurs and marketeers. A typo is not a problem. No, it's starting suggesting topics, even though I didn't ask for it, but it's fine. Let it do it first. These are just a few ideas. I will have 30 lessons in the course. I'm just feeding ChatGPT. I'm not asking any questions. I will cover various aspects of the growth marketing process, the tools to use, mindset, and the skill set. Yeah, it's good to know that you're not just focusing on the tools, but also on the mindset and skills. Okay, thanks, ChatGPT. Also giving some ideas about A/B testing, referral marketing, email marketing, automation, analytics. So all kinds of things we're including in the course. But now is the fun part. What kind of communities, what kinds of channels or communities does my course target audience hang out on? Now, this is a marketing question. It's like researching your audience. So it's giving me some places where I can find these people like Stack Exchange, BNI, Toastmasters, meetup.com, growthhackers.com, inbound.org, Warrior Forum. Now, these are the things that I can put back into SimilarWeb and then find how they are getting their traffic and so forth. Like growthhackers.com is a pretty good place to find audience for our course, right? So how can I get people from growthhackers.com or other online communities to join my course. So this is more ideation, less research, but more ideation. This is a great way to offer value in the community. So you join growthhackers.com yourself. First, you offer value, and you can share your course. Now, this is a free course. Otherwise, an exclusive discount for growthhackers.com would make a lot of sense. I could host a webinar or AMA there. So these are great ideas. Now, this is we are slowly getting into ideation. But if you continue the research, you can also ask, where does growthhackers.com get their audience from, right? So you're trying to find where your competitors gets their audience from. Now, look at this. One of the primary ways they attract visitors is through their content, which is very true. They also have a strong community aspect, which is also true. In addition, growthhackers.com has a strong social media presence with active accounts on Twitter and LinkedIn. So now you're getting ideas of where your competitors is getting their audience from. Right?
Yeah.
So in fact, most of my research and ideation I can do with ChatGPT. Now, some of these tools are much more data oriented and more relevant, but it does make sense to use something like ChatGPT if you want to just do a quick research, get all your information, and then move forward. So,
Okay.
yep. How do you feel, Swati? Something you can use for your clients as well?
Yeah, definitely. I'm so excited to use, if not all, most of these tools, and see how they can be of help.
Exactly.
Great.
I think some things I haven't mentioned, but like the Facebook ads library is great. You can see what ads your competitors are running. There's a lot to do here. But yeah, for the sake of this course, I think just wanted to give an overview that you can have access to all of these tools to do research. And we will get into ideation in the next lesson, which is day 7. But yeah, that's all for this one. Any questions, Swati?
No. Really looking forward to the next few lessons. That's all.
Awesome. We'll discuss ideation next. Thanks everyone for watching. We'll see you in the next one. Bye.